we're going to use the technique called pizzicato. It's an Italian word that means to pluck. So we're plucking the string instead of bowing. To bow, to use this bow and play is called arco, right? So if this is G, sorry, see how I'm holding this. So the rest of my fingers are just slightly under my fingerboard, not under. Your fingers can go under unless they're really tiny, or unless you're a kid. All right, as an adult, your fingers will just be somewhere there for comfort, and then the thumb does the work. And then note again that the thumb does not play here. You're not playing here. There is a style for pizzicato, yeah, that you do when you're carrying like this, which is this way. Okay, you pluck this way with now your thumb under this place. This happens mostly when you are in motion, when you're performing and you're playing and you need to pluck. Fine, see, you can always do this one, pluck. Or when you have a piece and you're having a very long passage in the work where you need to play pizzicato, you could drop a bow and then pluck. But for now, we're doing this type. The psychology around this whole thing is, if this is G, right? This is A. There is a spacing there. Okay, there is a spacing. If this is G, open string G, right? The plucking is not going to be sounding very great because I'm holding it not the proper way. But this is right. This is A. Then this is B. So naturally, we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Between A to B is a tone. And a tone means two semitones. I know we've got to the point where some persons might just be a little confused. Okay, we have a tone, and a tone contains two semitones in it. So somehow I'm trying to prepare your mind and make you understand why we have the space and what the space is for. So an A to B is a tone. Then B to C naturally is a semitone, naturally. And C to D is a tone. D to E is a tone. E to F is a semitone, naturally, right? And then F to G is a tone. So if you're going to look here, you'd realize that from G to A, there is a space. That's because it's a tone. Now this space here is A flat or G sharp. That's what this is for. So when we go further into music theory, because I think we'll get to that point, seeing that we are progressively growing, I'll have to take out time to just keep the violin on the side, right? And do some explanations on music, so that we're not just going to be improvisational kind of musicians. We'll be the type that can read sheet music as well. You need to be both. I mean, to be solid, you need to be both. Okay, so if this is A, this is B. Okay, and if this is B, this is C. Now I'm not going to take out my hands. I pray you can see this. I don't know if I'm doing a great job at this, but I pray you see this. I pray you see this structure. Space, finger, together. Open string G, yeah. My fingers are getting dirty. Open string G, space A, space B, because it's a tone, and there is a note in between. That note is like a semitone, so it's A flat, A sharp, or B flat. For those who understand, for those who don't understand, don't worry, we're going to explain in the long run. Then B to C, like I said, they are natural semitones. They are naturally, B and C, they are born twins in music. Okay, so this is B to C, and then after C, what next? D. Then remember that the next string is D. So you get the point now. Even though there are no exact, descriptions on where to play or where not to play. Somehow, if you play your cards well, you will get it right. Okay, so if this is G open string and then space A, space B, B, C, they are twins, they are together, semitones, so you put them together, right? And then we go again, open string to D now. Instead of continuing, I mean, you would find D, of course, if you continue this, and then you move D, E, F, you can play the entire scale on a string. But for beginners that we are, and at the level that we are right now, we want to keep it cool. No complications. Yeah. We have G. I think I've said this how many times now? G. We have A, B, B, C, and then open string D. Then after D, the same structure. Pay attention to structure. The same structure again. After D, we have, I'm on the second string. I hope you can see. The second string now, after D, we have E. Now after E, we are supposed to have F. And remember I said E and F are natural semitones. So E and F, they're meant to be together. But because we are playing the scale of G, okay, and in key signature, my lord, we'll come to music, really, but we're coming to that. It's something we call key signatures, right? So that's more like you knowing your tonal center. Key signature is all about you knowing the tonality, the tonal center of the music. Where does the tonality of the song surround? Where is the do? Let me sound that way. For those of you at least that understand so far, where is the do of this song? So what should I call do of this song? Where's the tonality? Where's the center? Where's the attraction? All right? Everything here sounds great. So should we sing or what should be the bass? That's what key signature is about. And then G as a key signature has one sharp. And that sharp is on F. That is why every F in G as a key will be sharpened. So in an F, in a key of G, A is natural, B is normal, C, D, E, but F cannot be F. F is going to have a sharp added to it. So now see what I mean here. Remember, we're on the second string now. So this is our D, right? And then D space E, right? And after the E, we're meant to have F, but no. In the key of G, F is sharpened. The space. Do you understand it now? That the space is not doing anything. There was something there, that's F, but no, the key says, this F, we have raised you, so you are now F sharp. So the F sharp, and then after F sharp, this is G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So the F sharp pattern went closer to the G. Let me take this again. If you're joining, you're welcome. Keep tapping on your screen. Let me take this again. If you noticed, if you are paying rapt attention, you see that when I showed you something on the fourth, let's not mistake it. But though we are playing a scale of G, so I'll be saying the initial string. Let's use it that way. The initial string, yeah. When I played on the initial string, which was G, I did G open string A space B C, D open string E F sharp and G. You notice the structure happened twice. If you get this structure, at least get the whole structure of space together, space together, you're just almost there with playing a scale. Okay, so that's it. We'll do this right, then open string, then that's it.